Hostel Part 2, directed by Eli Roth, starring Lauren German, Roger Bart, and Bijou Phillips. Three American college students studying abroad are lured to a Slovakian hostel and discover the grim reality behind it. I'm probably in the minority here. I actually prefer Hostel Part 2 over the first Hostel film, and the reason being is because I really like the storyline a lot more in this film, and I feel like it's a bit more nuanced. Hostel Part 2 takes place after the events of the first Hostel film. We are in Rome, Italy. There's three American art students, Beth, Whitney, and Lorna, and they're convinced by Axel, this nude model that they're sketching, to join her on the spa vacation in Slovakia. So the four check into this hostel, and when they hand over their passports, the desk clerk uploads their photos to an auction website. And this is where American businessman Todd and his best friend Stuart win bids on both Whitney and Beth, and they travel to Slovakia. We already have a much more complex plot. We're seeing the storyline from both the perspective of the victims and the killers. And that was something that I was always curious about in the first Hostel film, is who are these guys? We get a small glimpse into seeing who these people are, but in this film, we get to actually see the different types of people that bid on these young women as well as young men. We also learn more about the elite hunting group, the group that actually holds these auctions. We learn more about that deep, seedy underbelly, the people that are running it, and how big this operation truly is. I also like the cast a lot more. The three girls are Beth, Whitney, and Lorna, and they seem like just your typical college girls. I also really like how there is this dropped line about Beth having this large inheritance, that she's basically a billionaire. And that's something that comes into play later on in the film. Now when we get to Stuart and Todd, it feels like the same characters from the first film with Josh and Paxton. Todd feels more like a Paxton. He's like, hey man, come on, you gotta do this. You're gonna change after this happens, and you're gonna be a whole new man, and this is something that you're gonna remember for the rest of your life. Stuart is like Josh in the sense that he's the tag-along. They're both pretty twisted to want to go to Slovakia to kill young women. And as the film progresses, we begin to find out more about Stuart and Todd and who they really are underneath. Although the kills aren't gorier, I feel like they're a lot better in this film than the first film. They're a lot more creative, and that has to do with the fact that the film has a much larger budget to it. First Hostel film was about a $5 million budget. With Hostel Part 2, it's a $10 million budget. And that budget is on full display with the awesome practical effects and gore. There is a particular scene where someone's leg has practically been completely skinned, and you can see all the muscle and bone underneath, and it's a really effective gag. The other way that this is also shown is in the production design. A lot of these are sets that were built and they feel a lot bigger. It feels like this organization has a lot of power. I also feel like a lot of the scenes are a lot more shocking. The kills in this film are fantastic, and there's one scene in particular near the end of the film that is very cringe-inducing, that is really hard to watch, and will make any guy wince. I do feel like the pacing issues are a bit better in this film than the first Hostel film, but again, I feel like this is something that Eli Roth struggles with, is his pacing. It feels like much more of a tighter film, and I would have really liked to have seen Eli Roth complete this trilogy. So overall, I'm going to give Hostel Part 2 an add to the collection. I feel that it's a much more superior film over Hostel, and it's really added more to the mythology behind the elite hunting club. I feel like the characterization's a lot better, and I feel like all of the kill setups and gags and practical effects are a lot better in this film, especially because KMB Effects was attached. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for coming by, and I'll see you guys next time.